Think I'm okay. All right, I'm here with Chandler. How old are you, Chandler?
I'm 16.
16, that's good. So you can show in the juvenile about 4 more years. That's how you stretch it out.
Yeah.
I used to have a guy that worked with us, and he showed in the juvenile. My dad was somewhat of a rule breaker. Okay,
Yeah.
he wasn't like me, and that little boy, he had sideburns,
Yeah.
still showing in the juvenile. Everybody said, "How old is that boy?" And he had his fib down pretty
12.
good. He had it down pretty good. Working in the coal mines, one kid. I'm
Yeah.
still in the juvenile. He's still in there. Well, I tell you what, you have done. This little horse, what is he? How big is this horse? He's 58.
I measured him. He's right at 14.3.
Okay. I mean, he is absolutely. You have wore his. He was probably a bigger horse before you started the year.
Probably.
You wore his legs out. I'm telling you. I mean, every time you look up, you've been in the ring. You've done a great job with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen the before pictures, like before this year.
Yeah.
I mean, you kept moving forward with him. I think that's great. I admire that. Okay. And tonight, you plan on taking no prisoners. Taking them to the house. Make the rest of the kids cry and go home to their parents.
Yep.
I like that. So you've got to have that kind of confidence.
Yeah.
It really does. Well, tell me something about this little horse.
Well, he is about as stubborn as a mule.
I'll
tell you. That's something that me and him have in common, is that we're both just hard heads.
All right.
And whenever I first started riding him, he would rear, he'd buck, he'd drug me, he kicked at me, he did everything under the sun. He did little circus tricks, everything.
Okay.
But he realized that I was stubborn and that I was just going to keep on going.
Okay.
And because he saw I was stubborn, he was like, okay, fine. So he just gave up.
Well, I'll tell you what, how long have you had him?
We have owned him for, like a year and a half? We've owned him for about a year and a half now.
Okay, great.
And I've been riding him since 2020. We had him leased before.
Well, good. Well, good. That is, you can't beat that. That is great. That's great. Well, I know you wouldn't know. You should know. But about how many this year? About how many classes you think you won?
It's really hard.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it because it sounds kind of it sounds kind of gullible, but it's hard to count. It really is.
That's no problem. But I mean, you've done real good.
Yeah.
I've seen you do good. But I mean, I'm telling you something. I know you and your mom, you've covered a lot of miles.
Yeah.
Going to horse shows and doing stuff like that, and that takes a lot to do all that.
It does.
Do you do anything else other than horses? Any sports or anything, or is this it?
For a while, I played soccer.
But
since we brought the horses home, and now I'm showing about 3 horses at like little county shows, and it's hard to balance all of it.
It takes a lot of time. It really does.
I had to drop it.
That's good. That's really good. I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, this really, and there's a whole different thing playing soccer versus a horse.
Yeah.
I mean, this begins to knit with your heart. Not many soccer balls do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess a little horse knits with your heart.
Yeah.
They begin to do that along, and you enjoy them and have fun with them, and you spend that time with them. Well, what about cleaning the stalls and things like that? Does your mom do all that, or I mean, is that?
I do all that. I'm the groom. I'm the rider. I'm the trainer.
Right.
I'm all of it.
Well, that's a good answer too. I like that. She just pays the bills.
Yeah, she pays the bills and drives me around.
I like that. See, everybody's got to abide in their calling.
Yeah,
that's really good. We've done that. My wife used to do all the stall cleaning. She somehow, because she wanted it done her way. I was just talking to my daughter a minute ago on the phone, and she's got 45 racehorses.
Yeah,
and I went up there and they needed somebody to help clean the stalls. One week while she was gone, and I went in there, and so I was going to help a little bit, and I was going to clean stalls. And the second day, they called me and told me they didn't need me to come back. Fired me. The second day, fired me right out of there, and so it worked out pretty good for me. I didn't have to work anymore for the rest of the week. But I think it's great. You've done it really, really good. And so whatever. That's all right. That don't hurt nothing. That don't hurt.
He's a little goofy.
That don't hurt a thing. So, what do you think your challenges you got next year coming up on you? Okay. Juvenile competition is getting steeper and steeper all the time.
Yeah.
Immortally flying. Juveniles are. They are really flying.
Yeah.
I mean, but you're riding your horse. Okay. So what are your challenges with this horse?
Well, in the beginning, it was really a challenge getting him in the ring because he
Right.
was very ring sour, very buddy sour.
Right.
You would take him around a curve and he would act up at every corner.
Right. Right.
And he always needed a horse in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
And it used to be really, really difficult for
Right.
me to show him even at local shows
Right.
and big shows. It was really difficult. But, you know, we've worked a lot on that, and he's figured out, like, he doesn't need a leader.
Right.
And he doesn't need, you know, to be the man behind. He can lead the pack if he wants to. But he's still, you know, he still has little moments where he wants to, he gets a little bit too excited or he gets a little bit scared. And it's just working with him and understanding that.
Knowing your horse. Now, listen, when you hit the ring, okay? And I've known people that are great, okay?
Yeah.
And riders that I've known for years that are really, really good. Then I know people that are old like me that still really ain't that good, okay? One of the keys I found, and I've sort of watched you some with this, okay? And we can talk about going in and showing your own show, and that sounds really cute.
Yeah.
You know, people that are going to get fourth and fifth say that.
Yeah.
But to win, you've got to know where the rest of the horses are, don't you?
Yeah.
And you've got to ride it. You've got to ride to destroy them and beat them.
You have to be smart whenever you're in there.
See, and that's one reason I believe you've done good.
Whenever I'm in there, something that I've noticed too, like whenever I look back at videos, because I'll have my mom sometimes video me at local shows where I can watch back and kind of pick out some things I need to improve on. And one of the things that I've noticed that I've gotten a lot better at is respecting the ring and the people in it. So it's not cutting too close to people, passing a good distance, but getting back on that rail and just showing your horse. And it's respecting the people in the ring, the judges, and just the horses in general and your horse.
I think something that we're really working on this year with the judges, and we've talked a lot, and some horses are not getting timed for this reason, not having 3 gates.
Yep.
Well, that's a challenge.
Yeah.
That really is a challenge. And having 3 gates is a challenge because we get away from that sometimes.
Yeah.
Because when we go to slow gate, we want to pass everybody, get on out there to the front, sneak up on them. But I mean, and you go to some shows where you can get by with that.
Yeah.
But sometimes it catches up with you, doesn't it? It really does. But watching those horses when you hit the ring, watching everybody else, and you're doing good at that. And that's you see people win and follow that pattern, and I admire you for that. Well, when we talk about, and I know you're not that old, but role models, people that you sort of look up to when we talk about showing horses. Who?
Okay. I have quite a few.
Well, because you don't want to hurt their feelings. See, as you get older, you only pick 1 or 2, but it's okay.
But the first role model that I ever had, the role model that really kind of showed me like what speed racking can be, is TJ King. In 2019, I went to Fall Sheba, and I had my little spot horse. I was doing my little equitation, and we stayed for the open speed class, and I saw her on I think it was like JDS Primetime. And I just remember watching it and being like, I want to do that. And then I've gotten to know her a lot too, and me and her are really good friends now as well. But she's always been a good role model for me, and she's also just really sweet too.
Well, let me tell you something about TJ, okay? And I've known TJ since she was a little tiny girl. That's how old I am. Little long hair hanging down her back. I've known her as a little old tiny girl. Just a mean little girl at the horse shows, okay? And she always loved the ponies, little ponies and things like that. Whenever she judged, if you could take a gray pony in, you could always win no matter what you did. She was partial toward them little ponies. And in the prime time, the JD was me on prime time. And that was my mare, and who I got second on. I set records getting second places with her. I had her in Alabama one time, and I flipped her.
Oh.
Her legs went over her head. Okay, I was in the curve. It was during the day. Alabama had leaks in the ring inside the barn. It had some leaks. Always had leaks. It rained some. It was in a lower curve. My wife was sitting on the rail with her feet propped up reading or something, and I come around that curve, and I hit that slick spot. And her feet went up in the air, and I went up in the air, and we rolled and flipped and rolled, and she had mud all over her head and the saddle, and I was on the ground, and my wife never just sort of leaned forward, and she said, "Are you going to be okay?" And I said, "Well, my God, no, I just wrecked this horse." She said, "Well, you know I'm going to have to clean that saddle." That's all she said. It got up from there. But I mean, you think about stuff that stands out in your mind. And but TJ, I've known her ever since she's a little girl. She is she's precious. She really is. She is precious. Dwayne's a whole different thing, but she's okay. Dwayne's my cousin. We was born and raised together. And we used to train walking horses together. and we had a barn. And I've shared this before, and I've shared it. I was talking to Blaze last night about this. We trained walking horses together, about starved to death. We were eating puff rice, 47 cents a bag, is all we had to eat, and had about 25 horses in the barn. $175 a month is what we were charging.
Yeah.
And taking a bath and showering in the cross tide. We didn't have no showers. It was a lot of fun though. But I mean, the memories you're making now really stand out. And I admire that. Hold on to them, have fun, and know that you only got 7 minutes in the ring. But these other relationships around here are so important.
Yeah.
Do that. And I admire your spirit. Have fun. But you know how it is, where have fun with all these other people.
Yeah.
But destroy them when you get in that ring.
Yeah.
Go after them. I mean, go. And you got this little rascal can fly. Okay.
He can if he's in the right mood.
Now I'm not saying there ain't a 62-inch horse in there that can outrun you.
Yeah.
Okay. But if he gets a chance, he seems like he's got a heart.
He does. He really does.
Do you trail ride him at all?
You know, he's really good on trail rides. Again, if there's a horse in front of him,
right?
He can do anything if you just have the right attitude with him.
Right in front of him.
Yeah.
It sounds like that, like somebody's got a little bit of an attitude.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. Well, like I said, have fun. You've had a great year already. Gee whiz, it's a great year. You've already had a great show down here.
Yeah.
I'm in a world championship already. That is really good. That's good. I mean, I admire that. That is good. Well, I think you're going to do, I hope you're going to do okay anyway. Got your membership paid yet in the Speed Association?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, if we haven't, we'll make sure of that, because if you don't, I'll come by and X you. Okay, when the judges look, I put a big X. No, they're not a member. Okay, so we want you to. I'm not saying,
shun them, you're not a member.
I'm not saying that you'll do better if you're a member.
Yeah.
But it will help. All right, I say that.
Sway some opinions.
I give a big X. Yeah. You watch me. I do them like that. Sue Dunn didn't vote for me for president, and I still X her. I give her a big X when she comes by. Asked me to be president for 3 years, and then when I get up there, she said, "No, I'm just not going to vote." I said, "X." That's what she gets. She gets an X. I'm a little petty.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, I'm glad. Good luck, and good luck next year, and have fun. Take care of your horse. Enjoy this, because you'll get one in your lifetime comes along. Yeah. Okay, and it's hard to get another one, but you'll get one that comes along you can have fun with.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who's going to be in there with you?
Who?
Is Mr. Evolution going to be in there with you?
He might be, yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I might not be able to cheer for you. I was going to cheer for you. But I really...
Go cheer for Mr. Evolution?
Hey,
he's pretty. I like him.
When his mama had him, she had him standing up. Yes, and we caught him when she had him. And out of there. Had him standing up. And that was something else. That was and you know, the only colt out of him is the horse that Brad Johnson has, the Johnny Reb. That's the only colt out of Mr. Evolution.
Dang.
Yeah. I always said, now a little horse like him, I always said he was a 58-inch horse with a 62-inch heart.
Yep. And
this little horse here is about the same way. And but I watched him get better.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't like him as much the first of the year. But I watched him sit there and just seem like he's just getting better. I don't know what you're changing or what you're doing. You don't have to tell me no secret. But I mean, I've watched you just get better and better.
Yeah.
And do you find this sometimes, and tell me this, when you're riding that horse, and horses will break.
Yeah.
They're just like that, okay? But I mean, can you begin to sense that just a little bit before it happens?
I can sense it with him really well.
Right.
He likes to mess with his head a lot, like slower gaits whenever he's excited.
Right.
But if he does it in a faster gear, I know like I'm too much in his mouth, and I just need to let go.
Okay.
But I can't be so loose, or else he'll just run flat. But I can kind of sense it in his feet.
Good.
That's why I like flatter saddles, but not a lot of cushion, because I can feel their feet more.
Right.
And I can feel like, okay, are they kind of off when going into the curve or coming out? And and then I know like if I need to slow them down or speed them up or change something out.
It's good. Good, real good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going. That's a gift.
Yeah.
It really is a gift to be able to do that. And I've talked to interviewed a lot of people that are really good riders. And the biggest thing we talk about is that gift.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people can, once they come out, they can try to get them back in, but to be ahead of that, like you're talking about doing.
Yeah.
And that comes with a little time developing that gift.
Yeah.
And doing that. And I admire that. Good. Chandler,
Thank
good luck. Good luck. Unless Mr. Evolution's in there. And I got to be a little careful about this.
Oh, for second place.
But you get in there. And we say have fun because we try to be nice.
Yeah.
But don't have fun. Win.
Win.
Okay, what's important is that you win.
Yeah.
You want the other little juveniles crying, going home to their grandparents, saying, I got to have a better horse. Buy me that one. That's what can happen, too. You'll do all right.
Yeah.
You do good. Appreciate you. Thank you, Chandler. Appreciate you. See you later.
See ya.
We've already discussed you.
I know.